before you sign up for an HVAC program, before you pay for a class, before you tell everyone you know that you're going into HVAC. Watch this video. Not because HVAC is a bad career. It is one of the best careers in the trades, but because there are things about this career that nobody tells you before you get in, and some of them will surprise you. Here's the thing about HVAC advice on the internet. Most of it is written by people who've never touched a refrigerant gauge in their life. They pull numbers from a salary website and tell you HVAC is great. They're not wrong, but they are also not giving you the full picture. 30 years in this industry, 16 years running my own HVAC business. I have hired techs, trained techs, watched techs burn out, and watched techs build generally great careers and great lives. I know what this career looks like from every angle, and today I'm going to give you the honest version, the good, the hard, and the stuff nobody puts in brochures. If you're thinking about HVAC, this is the conversation you need to have before you commit. Before we get started, smash that like button, subscribe. All right, let's get into it. What HVAC actually is and what it isn't. Let's start with the basics, because a lot of people have vague ideas of what an HVAC tech does, and the vague idea is usually wrong. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. An HVAC technician installs, maintains, and repairs the systems that control the climate in buildings, residential systems, the furnace and air conditioner in a house, light commercial systems, the rooftop units on the strip mall of small office buildings, heavy commercial, the chillers, cooling towers, and air handlers in hospitals, universities, or data centers, industrial, the process cooling and ventilation systems in a manufacturing facility. Those are 4 completely different worlds, different equipment, different skill sets, different pay scales, different working conditions. The residential HVAC tech and the commercial chiller tech are both called HVAC techs, but they are doing very different work for very different money. Here's the most important thing to understand before you enter this industry. Which branch of HVAC you end up in will define your entire career experience. Make that choice deliberately, not by accident. If you've ever dreamed of financial, location, and time freedom, listen up. My brother Shane created Content Growth Engine, and I'm not just saying this because he's family. I'm a student and a member myself. In just 1 month, I had my first $214 day. By month 4, I had a $445 day. And by month 5, I had a $519 day. And it just keeps building from there. It's a simple, proven system for growing your YouTube channel and earning a full-time income in less than 4 hours a week. No marketing background, no tech skills, just results. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Go check it out and start building your freedom today. The things nobody tells you, the hard parts. Let's get into the honest stuff, because this is the part most HVAC content glosses over. The first few years are physically brutal. HVAC work is not office work. You're in attics in 130-degree heat in July. You're in crawl spaces in 20-degree weather in January. You're in rooftops in the summer sun. You're in mechanical rooms with no ventilation. You're lifting equipment that is heavier than it looks and getting it into spaces that were not designed to make your job easy. The physical demands in the early years, when you're doing the grunt work as an entry-level tech, are significant. People who went into HVAC expecting a primarily technical role are sometimes surprised by how physical it actually is in the beginning. The on-call reality is real. HVAC is an on-call trade. Air conditioners fail on the hottest day of the year. Furnaces go out on the coldest night of the year. And when that happens, somebody has to respond. If you're working residential service, you'll have periods when you're on call. Weekends, holidays, the emergency call that comes in at 9 p.m. when you had other plans. That's not a bug in this career. It's a feature. The emergency call pays well, but you need to go in knowing it's part of the job. The diagnostic learning curve is steep. This is one that catches people off guard more than anything else. Installing HVAC equipment is learnable relatively quickly. Diagnosing why a system is not working correctly, understanding refrigeration theory, electrical control circuits, airflow dynamics, and how all those interact takes years to develop. The first year or two as an HVAC tech, You'll be in situations where the system is telling you something and you do not yet have the knowledge to hear it. That gap is frustrating. It is humbling and is completely normal. Every experienced tech went through it, but you need to be prepared for it. The residential side has a lower ceiling than most people expect. The HVAC salary numbers that get thrown around online are often numbers for experienced commercial techs with chiller certifications. Entry-level residential HVAC techs make $38,000 to $55,000 in most markets. That is the honest money for an entry-level position. But if you spend 5 years doing residential tune-ups and filter changes and never pursue commercial certification, you're going to hit a ceiling that is lower than what the brochures implied. The money in HVAC is real, but it is commercial and industrial, not in residential service calls at scale. The tools and vehicle investment is real. A fully equipped HVAC service tech carries a significant amount of tooling, manifold gauges, vacuum pumps, refrigerant recovery equipment, leak detectors, digital multimeters, combustion analyzers, airflow measurement equipment. If you're going independent, a service van, branded materials, insurance, licensing fees, the upfront investment in tooling and equipment is real, and it is not small. The things that make it worth it. Okay, you've heard the honest version of the hard parts. Here's the other side. The demand is documented and structural. The BLS projects 8% growth for HVAC mechanics and installers from 2024 to 2034. Much faster than the average for all occupations. 40,000 openings per year. The industry is currently short as an estimated 110,000 technicians nationally, according to the ACCA and ACHR News. Data centers need precision cooling. Climate change is creating cooling demand that did not exist at this scale before. Heat pump conversions are creating a massive retrofitting wave. All of it requires HVAC technicians. The demand for qualified people in this trade is not going away. The diagnostic work is generally intellectual satisfying. Here's the flip side of the steep learning curve. Once you develop real diagnostic skills, once you can walk up to a system that is not working, read the symptoms, and work through the logic to find the root cause, it is one of the most satisfying problem-solving experiences in any trade. Every system is a puzzle. Every service call is a different puzzle. The techs who love this work are not just showing up for the paycheck. They generally enjoy the diagnostic challenge. And that enjoyment keeps people in their careers for decades. The career arc is clear. Entry-level tech, service tech, senior service tech, commercial tech, NATE certified, chiller certified, BAS integration specialist, independent contractor, business owner. Every step up the ladder is defined. Every step has a credential attached to it. And every step produces a meaningfully income increase. This is not a career where you hope someone notices you and promotes you. You develop a skill, learn a credential, and the market pays you accordingly. The business ownership story is real. A residential HVAC service company with the maintenance agreements and trained crew generates revenue that compounds annually. The maintenance agreement model. Customers paying for twice annual tune-up plus priority service creates a base of predictable recurring revenue before a single repair call is booked. I have lived this for 30 years. The HVAC service contracting business at scale with commercial clients and a trained crew produces personal income that rivals most professional careers without a degree, without student debt. Hey, real quick, if you're watching this and thinking, okay, some of these are generally interesting, but still need help figuring out which direction makes sense for me, check out Course Careers. They got an AI career counselor named Coura, and she will literally walk you through it. Coura helps you figure out if HVAC, plumbing, electrical, construction project managing, construction estimating, architectural drafting, or a supply chain coordinator fits your goals, your lifestyles, your personality. Then you can start the free intro course it recommends. No experience, no degree needed, and get a real feel for the day-to-day before you commit to anything. Students have used this to break into high-paying careers in as little as 4 to 12 weeks. Link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Trust me, knowing which trade fits you before you go all in, that's the smartest move you can make. The specialization question, where should you aim? Here's the strategic advice I give to every person who tells me they want to go into HVAC. Do not just get into HVAC. Get into specific parts of HVAC with a plan for where you are going. Residential service is the most acceptable entry point. Most HVAC companies hire entry-level residential techs. The residential side gives you the fundamentals: basic refrigeration, basic electrical, basic airflow. But plan your exit from residential early. The money and the intellectual challenge both decrease significantly as you move towards commercial. Commercial and industrial is where the career gets serious. Commercial rooftop units, chiller systems, cooling towers, variable refrigerant flow systems, building automation integration. Each one of those specializations is a credential and a pay increase. The NATE certification, Northern American Technical Excellence, is the most broadly recognized credential in the industry. Get it as soon as you're eligible. The EPA 608 certification is the federal requirement to handle refrigerants. Get it before you apply anywhere. The data center cooling specialty is where I would point someone entering the industry today. If I could give them one piece of strategic advice, every AI data center requires precision cooling. The CRACs and the CRAH units inside those facilities are HVAC equipment. And the technicians who understand data center cooling, who have the right certifications and can work in that environment, are among the best compensated HVAC professionals in this country right now. Hey, a quick break here. If you want to take a free intro course on how to land a job in the trades, click in the link in the description below, pinned in the comments. Should you become an HVAC tech? Here's the honest answer: yes. If you're willing to do the physical work in the early years, if you can handle the on-call reality of service work, if you are patient enough to survive the diagnostic learning curve without quitting before you develop real skill, and if you're deliberate about specialization, targeting commercial and industrial rather than staying in residential, no, or not yet. If you need high income immediately, if physical outdoor work in extreme temperatures is generally not something you can sustain, if the idea of being on call on a holiday weekend is a deal breaker for your life situation right now, the EPA 608 exam costs $20. The prep material is free online. You can be exam and ready in 2 to 4 weeks. That is the starting point. From there, a community college certificate program, a direct hire in an HVAC company willing to train, or a union apprenticeship depending on your market, or the course careers that I talk about in my commercial. The path in is accessible. The career at the other end of the path, or the person who goes all the way, is generally exceptional. That is the honest version. Now you can decide. Look, HVAC is not a career you fall into. It is a career you choose with your eyes open. Knowing the hard parts going in makes you a better candidate and a better tech and a better business owner down the road. The demand is real. The pay arc is real. The business ownership story is real. And the path starts with a $20 exam. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Drop a comment. Are you considering HVAC right now? Or are you already in it? I want to hear where you are. I read every single one. Catch you in the next video. Peace out.
If you need to learn the trades, go to Zach of all trades.